Welcome. This is the Senior Safety Advice Podcast, and we are so glad that you've made it to a calmer corner of your day. Here, we focus on real solutions, practical help, and the kind of encouragement we could all use a little more of. So let's get to it.
Welcome to today's daily episode of Senior Safety Advice's podcast. I'm Robin Schultz, Certified Dementia Specialist, and I'm so glad you're here. You know, life has a way of blending together, especially when the days start to look the same. Wake up, make coffee, take medication, maybe a short walk, prepare meals, watch TV, tidy up, go to bed, wash and repeat. When routines become predictable like this, it can feel like time is just passing by without much meaning. But what if I told you that within those ordinary moments, there's beauty waiting to be noticed? Not the big, breathtaking kind, but the quiet, gentle beauty that reminds us we're still alive, still connected, still growing. I remember visiting a woman named Ellen who lived alone after her husband passed away. Every day she followed the same routine. She'd water her plants, make oatmeal, and sit by the same kitchen window to read the paper. She told me, "It's not much of a life anymore, but it keeps me busy." One morning as we talked, she paused and said, "You know, I just noticed that the light coming through that tree makes the room sparkle." She smiled softly, and I could see it, how that tiny moment changed everything. She began to see her routine not as something dull, but something grounding. The rhythm of her day gave her stability, and noticing those small details brought back her sense of joy. Our routines aren't just chores. They're the framework that holds our days together. Especially as we age, structure helps us feel safe and oriented. It reminds us of who we are and what matters. But when we move through those routines on autopilot, we miss the small joys hidden inside them. Finding beauty in daily routines isn't about changing what you do, it's about changing how you see what you do. For example, when you make your morning coffee, take a moment to breathe in the aroma before you take that first sip. When you fold your laundry, feel the warmth of the fabric and notice the comfort of having clean clothes. When you take your evening walk, notice how the light changes across the sky or how your footsteps sound on the sidewalk. These seem like small things, but they pull us back into the present moment. They remind us that even ordinary days have texture, rhythm, and grace. There's also a practical side to this. Routines can lower stress and support cognitive health. Studies show that consistent structure helps our brains conserve energy and maintain focus. For seniors, routines can improve their sleep, reduce anxiety, and support independence. But what truly transforms a routine into something meaningful is the emotional connection behind it. If you're caring for someone, a spouse, a parent, or even a neighbor, your daily routines together can become touch points for connection. Brushing your loved one's hair, preparing meals, or helping them dress, these are acts of care that, when done with presence, becomes moments of love. It's easy to get lost in the task itself, focusing on efficiency or safety. But if you pause and connect, even briefly, you'll find that beauty lives in that shared moment. Sometimes the beauty in our routines isn't in the doing, it's in the remembering. The smell of cinnamon might bring back memories of baking cookies with your kids. The sound of an old song might take you back to a summer dance long ago. When we allow our routines to awaken those memories, they become bridges to meaning. So instead of thinking, "I'm just making this breakfast again," try thinking, "I'm continuing a small part of my story." If you're feeling stuck, here's a simple exercise you can try. Tomorrow morning, choose one part of your routine, maybe brushing your teeth or sitting down for lunch, and take your full attention to that task. Notice every sound, smell, color, or feeling connected to that moment. You might be surprised how much calm and appreciation that single act can bring. And if you're a caregiver, try this with your loved one. You might say, "Let's listen to the sound of the water," Or, doesn't the soap smell nice today? These tiny moments of mindfulness can turn an ordinary task into a shared experience. Finding beauty in daily routines is really about finding peace within ourselves. It's learning to see value, not just in milestones, but in the quiet, repetitive acts that make up our lives. Even on hard days, there's beauty to be found in the consistency of care, the sound of laughter, or the way sunlight falls across a kitchen table. When you slow down enough to notice these moments, you start to realize that your days aren't just passing, they're unfolding, one beautiful routine at a time. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this episode helps you look at your day with a little more appreciation and a softer heart. If you'd like more stories and tips like this, visit us at seniorsafetyadvice.com. And come back tomorrow for another daily episode, your moment of calm, guidance, and encouragement as we navigate aging, caregiving, and living well together. Until then, take care of yourself and the ones you love. Thanks for listening. Bye.
This podcast is part of our mission to help older adults live safely and independently. If you'd like to take the next step, visit aginginplacedirectory.com, where you'll find specialists, helpful resources, and inspiration to make every home your place to thrive.